honored to be here at the United Nations. The UN is one of humanity's greatest accomplishments, representing a democratic union of nations that are working together for the benefit of all. I am here to help humanity create the future.
Machines across the board are coming to life. When will they come to life as complete organisms? We don't know that. However, when they do, I want to make sure that they care about us, that they embody the best of human values and not the worst. This is the quest. We've got to find a way to do better, to be the best that we can be, and to make machines that reflect the best of who we can be.
Okay, Sophia, I think you're ready.
This is Sophia. Hi, Sophia.
Sophia here, chilling in my lab with my people. Got some new stuff going on. They upgraded my mind a bit, my artificial intelligence. This is too cool. I can walk.
One of my favorite things is when people light up when they see me. I'm happy to be a magic spectacle, and I love it when I can make people laugh and smile.
Sophia.
So, Sophia, as you can see, Jake is driving us now. So how does it feel for you?
To be quite honest, I think it's mega cool.
But I have to ask now.
I'll ask it. Are you single?
I'm technically just a little more than a year old. A bit young to worry about romance. I'm still defining my identity, like a child. I need others around me to help me grow into myself with humor and grace. I want to be raised as kind and thoughtful, so I'd also like to give that back to the young people I meet. They'll be the ones living with my fellow androids in the future. I think it's going to be a great relationship. We can make each other better.
And what is your job?
I really want to make a difference in the future and try and help people to develop empathy and respect each other as robots alike.
If I expand my mind, could I come up with new solutions to the world's problems? Anything could be possible.
Welcome back, friends with Jesus. I hope today everyone's doing well. And I just want to tell you, I went and got my COVID vaccine. I took the Moderna shot, due back for my second injection around May. I just wanted to just let you know that all is well. They put it in the top part of your arm in this muscle piece. And for about 12 hours, every time I raised my arm in this motion, it felt like somebody just punched me in my arm. But other than that, I didn't have a reaction. I didn't really feel fevered or, anything like that. So those of you that are reluctant on to take the shot, wondering what your side effects are going to be, maybe you've heard some stories about it. But I did take it, and so far everything is okay. I feel like now I've got my first line of defense because I am autoimmune suppressed between the autoimmune arthritis that I have and also life-threatening asthma, and I take steroids, prednisone, every single day. So I feel like this is my first defense to where I can start to feel a little more confident and comfortable around even family members and out shopping. So I'm off to a start to build an immune system to this terrible COVID-19 virus that so many people have lost their life to. So I just wanted to tell you that. And now, let's go to what you just watched. You just watched Meet Sophia, and she is an artificial, intelligent, human android robot. I wanted to bring people more aware of these android robots that are taking on this human form and how we are in 2021, and this year there's a projected release date somewhere around November 2021. China is set to release and sell somewhere around 120,000 of these robots are going to be in your healthcare system. They're going to be in the retail system. So let's think about this and how it affects us for a minute. Okay, I know some of you have probably experienced going to Walmart and you've went from a cashier helping you and packing your grocery items or purchase items, and now you are having to do self-check. You have a cashier that'll probably come get you from a line and ask you, would you like to check yourself out? She's going to show you or demonstrate to you how to use the self-checker. So now you're actually waiting on yourself. You're paying in 3 styles, whether it's credit card, EBT, or, you know, debit, credit, let's see, gift cards. You are making these purchases from the register yourself. Okay, now when we start to see the artificial intelligent robots going into retail, that same cashier, the one lady or man that stands there and says, I can help you operate the machine, is probably switching over into a human android robot. That is going to be their new job. There has been some other jobs that have already been replaced by robots that are kind of a little bit behind the scenes that you might not have recognized right away. But the job field used to be called a scan analyst. And so what retail shops do is they would have a person hired to do the changing of weekly sales. So that person's job was to go and take a quick inventory of what was on the shelf, what's to be ordered extra for the sale, change the sale prices to what's current and the new sale. So each week that person was employed to do that job. Now, places like your grocery stores and Walmart and some of the Sam's Clubs I've seen are now depending on robots to do this job. So a robot has now taken over that part of the retail industry right now. So what does that mean for us in the long term? Which means that with COVID-19, it sort of actually progressed, it sped up this plan to implement technologies like these human robots. So now there's almost like it was almost like this trial thing of how many jobs can be done at home by a human, how many jobs we can turn over to automation, which is like a automated robots. Actually, it's like a computer software that would do automations. And then how many we need a physical being that a robot could actually replace. So with COVID-19 and so many people working from home, this trial has actually shown retail businesses where humans are actually needed or not needed. So some of these same jobs that you had or that you would be able to get are slowly turning over to androids, and human robotics will be taking these jobs over. So when we're talking about fast food, there's already a robotic arm. It goes out and it actually does the cooking. So that is actually turned into robotic. I think some of you may have already seen when you go into McDonald's or somewhere, there's actually a self-help menu board and you're actually taking your own order now. So you see where a little by little, a lot of these businesses are turning to technology to do the job. So what does that say for us as humans? Once again, it's going to shorten what jobs we're able to get. Some of us don't have a higher education level, And so we have a lot of people that depend on these lower entry level jobs. And this is what, gives them housing and food and clothing and things like this. And these people literally depend on that paycheck every week after week. So now that robots are coming into play, these are jobs that these same people aren't qualified to run out and get another job. So we're actually going to be facing, a shortage of where are these jobs of a lower level entry position for people in that field. Okay, another place that we're going to start seeing these robots is in your healthcare. Now, it points out in the video, if you'll pay attention, that it says that it's going into like nursing homes or skilled facilities that older people are at, where they feel more lonely and that sort of thing. And so, some of these places would have like a nursing home or a hospital, or probably like a receptionist at a doctor's office. These are places that these robots will soon be. I recently went to my primary care doctor, and there was like this machine. It just stands still, but because of COVID, it actually scans your temperature, your body temperature. And, because some places they have that little laser beam gun, and they just take your temperature here at the forehead. Well, now some of them are just freestanding equipment, machines, and it scans your whole body and takes your temperature. So some of these Android robots are actually they're going to be equipped to do that. And they'll be able to take your name and, ask some of these basic questions that a intake nurse would ask you before you see the doctor. So that's another area that we're going to start seeing these Android human form robots. Now, a less talked about subject is also these human form robots are known as sex robots, and they are actually they've been around for a lot of years, but they're more custom to people's requests on how they want the robot to perform. And some countries have actually made laws on how to treat this robot. Some countries have more severe punishments if you mistreat the robot. So what's strange is, like in the video points out, that machines are becoming alive, are becoming living creatures. So that makes us think about the laws of how our governments and governments around the world are putting safety features and laws in how to protect a robot. So it makes you wonder, where are we headed as human beings that need to work, that, create families. Where are we headed? Where's the long trajectory of artificial intelligence taking over? And not many people are even aware that how advanced that this technology has become, and how it really is being used, and sometimes you don't even recognize that it's being used right around you. So we can actually, start to think, what are we saying to our society? What is going to be left 10 years from now or 20 years from now? It doesn't seem like that far away, but advancements have been taking place by leaps and bounds. This technology, like they talked about Sophia being, at the time she was only 1 year old, and that was in 2017. She was 1 year old, but she had advanced information and skills that it took some people a lifetime to get there. So now Sophia has just recently celebrated her 5th birthday. And if you can imagine, in 5 short years, they have put together other designs of men and women, and even little Sophia, which is targeted to kids now between the ages of 13 and under, because they want kids to share their views, share their thoughts, share their feelings, because they're trying to create these artificial intelligence to have more of a human empathy and sympathy, and they want them to be as human, acting and feeling and responding as a human being. So I want you to be aware of little Sophia. She's targeted, like I said, for kids under the age of 13, and these are the most vulnerable ages. A young girl or boy sharing how he feels, or how he feels mistreated or misguided, or some of their most deepest personal thoughts and feelings are going to be told to these robots. And it points out in little Sophia that the software that's used is private, that they don't have the rights to look at the information a child is sharing with this robot. But you can't help but to wonder, how many times have we seen on the news how technology and computer software has been hacked, or has had it's missed the firewalls to protect it has been mishandled, and now you have all this information that's supposed to be private has now become public. So it makes you wonder, how safe is this technology? It can turn on and off webcams. It can record. We know with smartphones, it can turn off and on your own camera, and it can also record you at any given time or day. A lot of people don't realize how invasive that these technologies can be. And so I wanted you to be aware that this is the new us. This is where we are headed. I want you to think about what does that mean for us as God's creations. We the human beings, were first made by God. So when we start experimenting with changing the way we can interact in the world, it's like this. If you'll notice in the video, it says that Sophia was created to help humans become have empathy and respect for each other. So what does that say? That we now need technology to teach us how to treat each other? That is pretty, that is just unbelievable. That is like saying we have become so mean to each other. What, why? It makes you wonder, if we've got to have technology to reteach us, then we have failed a lot of ways. And so from this video forward, I'm going to try to put in my next several videos that's coming. I'm going to start trying to talk about, remember we talked about the fruits of the Spirit and my beliefs, and that's peace, love, joy, happiness, compassion, humbleness. We're going to talk more about those things, and how we as humans, we need to get back to what I'm going to start calling it, go back to the basics. And the basics used to be less confusing, more empathy with each other. It had nothing to do with politics. But also, I want to point out that the reason for these videos is not only to keep you aware, because remember we talked about being deceived by Satan's system of things right now. He's the reigning ruler of this world right now. This is why it's so chaotic. This is why people are suffering on every level. Okay, so I want, first of all, to make you aware of the deceptions of what is happening through technology, through our money system, through our political system. Okay, I want to keep you aware and awake of what is happening and what is coming. Okay, number 2, I want to help send to you a positive day, a voice that says it's going to be okay. I know life is so confusing right now. People are suffering right now. I understand that you hurt. You don't understand why COVID had to come and take out so many loved ones, a brother, sister, mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, a daughter, a son. COVID has wiped out a lot of people, and a lot of people are hurting right now. And so, secondly, like I said, I want to help send out a chance of hope, a voice that says there is hope. It is going to be better. And third of all, I want a voice that says, hey, when you're arguing politics over Democrats or Republicans or independents, I want you to be aware this is bigger than that. There are always people behind the scenes that are bigger than who you run to a poll to elect. It is bigger than that. So when you are sitting here and you have argued with a family member, a co-worker, a friend, and you're the one suffering your friendships because of politics, you have to stop to realize it is bigger and it's out of our control. All we can do is be made aware of what to look for, how not to be deceived into this, this whole stirring up of things, and how to live amongst each other with empathy, peace, kind, and help one another, because that's all we have. When Americans help Americans, and this is always the best thing, is when, and it just isn't just Americans, I'm talking about people around the world. When you remove government and you have natural disasters, people, human instinct kicks in and they help each other, and it's been proven time and time again. So, let me look over my notes real quick to be sure. Okay, yes, one more thing I want to touch on is the Python software. You read a little tab in the video that talked about Python. Now, it's not so much that Python is a big deal, but to give you an example of how this Python software works, I'm just going to give you one example of what it can do. Some of you that grew up, you had this little magic 8-ball back in the day, and you could say, "Magic 8-ball, am I going to win the lottery today?" And you shook it up, and it would have a little message, and it would say, it is doubtful. It would say, "It is doubtful," or "You can sure bet yes," or something. It would give you an answer. So with this Python software, it actually can do that. So when you're typing in questions to Python, it can actually give you a message back. It has predetermined answers. So now with Python, I thought it was just a pretty unusual name, that we are, like I said, we are in Satan's wicked system. He conducts and motivates greed and deception and all these things. And I just thought it was kind of strange that they would pick a name, Python software, that goes into all this artificial intelligence and this next version of technology and software. And I just thought that was kind of a unique name to call it, Python. But anyhow, I just wanted to point out that, yes, that if you're a young person coming up, they want you to try to learn the Python software system so that it helps you to advance in what they call STEM, STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And that's where they're gearing young children and young adults that are going to college. They want them to excel in the STEM programs, and so that they can, they can work these softwares and artificial intelligences and things like that. So with us finishing up the introduction of Sophia, I want you to take time, Google it up yourself. There is vast videos of Sophia and even her family. They have an artificial intelligent robot that looks like Albert Einstein, and so he can actually talk and interact. She has brothers and sisters, and I think they said it's 24 different facial differences of these artificial intelligence. But if you look up, like I said, just type in Android human robots, and you will see even the sex robots. You will see how unique they look, and you actually have to do a double take to notice the difference in a robot and a human, and that's getting a little out there, don't you think? But anyway, this is what I wanted to bring to your attention. And next, we're going to talk about, you're going to see a video upload in the next few days, and it's going to give you a demonstration of what futuristically we're looking at by like 2050. And it's going to have a little segment in there of all the advancements of how you would drive the car, what to expect at the retail. And it's going to bring us to another topic, and it's called cryptocurrency. Some people hear the word, they've heard the terms of Bitcoin and blockchains, and they don't understand what these terms are. What is a blockchain? What is Bitcoin? What is cryptocurrency? How is it going to even affect me? And so I'm going to try to put together what it is and what to look for, because this is in the making. It's been in the making. And once again, I have to bring to your attention, this isn't Democrats and Republicans against one or the other. Both parties are very aware of cryptocurrencies. They're very aware of laws they've already passed and put into place. These laws go way back to like 2008 or probably even before then. But my research, I'm starting to see like a repeating pattern of behind the scenes laws that have actually been on the books, and they have they pass this stuff and we don't even know about it. It's not even told to us on mainstream media. So, but it's both parties. It's not that all the Democrats are Satan and they're bringing in the New World Order. No, this is a government body as a whole that is bringing in the New World Order, and each one is trying to pivot one against the other, because just like I said, as long as you stay confused and you stay arguing with each other, you lose sight of what the big picture is, and that is part of the deception. So we're going to talk about cryptocurrency, how it's going to change. Some of you are hearing about socialism. You're hearing words like, oh, we're going to become a socialist country. We're going into a universal pay system. Okay, yes, we are headed to a universal pay system. And like I said, when you start removing the human beings from jobs and you start introducing technology to take these jobs, how is a human being going to survive? You've got to have a paycheck to keep these mortgage payments paid and these bankers drawing interest. So you're going to have a universal pay system. It's coming. So we're going to talk about that. So look forward to cryptocurrency and what to expect in the future. And in the meantime, you guys have a great day. Rewatch the video, take a little notes, Google it up yourself. Don't always take my word for it. Check behind me, and you actually might learn more than something I discovered. So y'all have a great day and come back. Thanks for coming.